Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and we're at it again. Rose from Rose Likes Crochet, she had contacted several of us podcasters about doing a washcloth challenge, so that's what I'm here to talk to you about right now. And what that is she sent out to some of us some scrubby yarn or cotton yarn to crochet or knit a washcloth, and what she sent me was the Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton Mini in Tutu to Tango, and that is the colorway right there. Very pretty. So what I've been doing is I have been crocheting a washcloth a day, putting them in a 2-gallon Ziploc bag, so that once I have a box filled, one of the priority mailboxes, it's $15.50, that I can go ahead and label it and set it aside in my area for shipping, because that item will not actually go to Rose until September, the end of September, so she receives it in October. And I know I challenged all of you to that, but don't send your washcloths until October. It's not until October that Wings takes those items. So she also included a letter with that she asked us to read if we wanted to, and I'm going to read you the letter, and it's about the Wings program. Breaking the cycle of domestic violence. The mission of Wings Program, Inc. is to provide housing, integrated services, education, and advocacy to end domestic violence. Wings provides a pathway to independence for adults and children who are escaping from domestic violence and abuse. Our goal is to provide tools and support necessary to ensure that victims can escape their abusers and begin building new, violence-free lives. Safe housing. Wings provides victims of domestic violence and their children with 33 safe housing options in and around the Chicagoland area to help end the cycle of violence. Counseling and planning. At Wings, we take a holistic, strength-based approach that highlights, encourages, and develops each client's strengths. We give flight to our clients' hopes and dreams, and boy do they. Mentoring program. The Wings Mentoring Program provides ongoing support for individuals who have successfully completed our 2-year program and achieved self-sufficiency. Now, Rose always has a caveat with this, that if you are unable to send washcloths to her, then please donate them to a program that is like Wings, or your women's shelter to end domestic violence locally. She is fine with that. The whole idea is to donate to help these women and men get away from the violence cycle, and it helps them rebuild their lives with those items. Now, in my area, we have a women's shelter, but our women's shelter, when you donate items, sends those items over to the Salvation Army. Salvation Army marks them for purchase, and then the women are given a voucher to go to the Salvation Army and purchase the things that they need to restart their lives. And that is something that I've chosen not to donate to my local women's shelter, because it doesn't benefit the women that I'm intending to help. It benefits anyone in the community, which is fine. However, if we do that through the prayer shawl ministry, and there's no need to do it through the Salvation Army for us. So Please consider that. I know a lot of people have said, well, I don't know if I can afford the shipping. You have 5 months. Five, I think. You have the rest of May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. Put aside a couple of dollars each month, $2 each month. You should be able to afford sending one package to Rose in October. October, folks. Don't mail them in before then. Alright, guys. That is it for this. And let me get on to the rest of it. Let me gather the items that I have, and we'll start with the regular Scraptastic Yarns for Tuesday. Alright, let me see. I am ready to start showing you a few things. One of those is the Birthstone Make-Along with Judy at Witch Piece Crafts. And this month's jewel gem is emerald. I was going to use my jade, but I haven't gotten to my jade yarn yet, so I will add that in later. But she chose some colors that you could use, like the facet was yellow. You could also use a variegated yarn, which was hues of green, blue. Well, I went looking for that yarn and it didn't happen, but I did get a variegated green, so that is in there, and the yellow. And like I said, I'll put my jade green in later once I get to that yarn. Then for Nan's next knots, she finally chose the color number 4. Sorry, Lynette. Lynette of Charmed Grammy Crochet had planned to use, she figured it was never going to be called, so she had planned to use her number 4 colorway for her border. I have a feeling that number 4 is going to be called a lot from now on. I don't know, but you know. This is the Afghan that I chose to continue with the black, and my color was the color Sky in the Premier Basic yarn. So that is that portion of it. And as you know, I had finished turn one of the ones with my cream colorway into into a lap robe. So that's gone and out of here. And so this number 4, my colorway was forest green in the Basics Premier. Most of the colors of the yarns I'm using are in the Basics Premier, so I did get that portion done. The one that I don't have up here with me is Olivia's Choice Cal, and the reason I don't have that up here is because I need to finish the one that was last week, which is the Lark's Foot, and I just haven't done that portion of that Afghan yet. So, you know, there's that. Now, you know Granny D has that Granny D's Moss in May challenge. I think that's the name of it. I'll double back to make sure that I've got it correct. But I realized I've never really done anything in moss stitch in a larger variety. I've done scarves in it, but I've never done an Afghan or anything. So I decided I was also going to couple that with Gary's Crochet and Craft. You know, maybe it could count as a twofer. Her hashtag Dollar Tree 10 yarn. So I chose 10 yarns from the Dollar Tree. And trust me, when they first got that yarn in, let me tell you what Jane did. I probably spent $30 buying yarn. And then, of course, a couple weeks later, I went back and spent another $30, you know. I haven't used it yet, so I'm using it. And this is 2 skeins of the Just Yarn in Garnet are down here in the bottom. And this is my first skein of the color Daffodil in the Just Yarn by Premier. I have another skein to go. And then I will be adding 2 purple. And then I will be adding 2 turquoise. Followed up by 2 of the crepe. So that will, you know, I think it'll make a decent sized lap robe. If it doesn't, well, maybe I'll have to add more to it. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Now, as many of you know, I help head up the prayer shawl ministry for the Bald Eagle United Presbyterian Church, and we had decided that in the month of June we were going to purchase just red, white, and blue yarn for the ladies to make lap robes, afghans in red, white, and blue, so that we would be prepared to hand out items in November for Veterans Day to our vets. So I went into my stash and I found 5 of the Just Yarns in red, 5 in white, and 5 in royal blue. Unfortunately, I don't have navy in the Just Yarns, so I am going to use the royal blue instead. There are a lot of people that think the navy is more representative of the flag, but you know, I'm willing to use any color of blue as long as it's red, white, and blue. And our veterans, you know, they do deserve our praise and our thanks for those kind of things. But now I have a little bit of news about yarn coming up. So as ordering this, I had called 2 places to see about purchasing a bulk amount of the yarn, because we easily go through about $300 worth of yarn every month. So when I had called, I decided we were going to use our local Walmart, use Walmart's yarns for that, because I figured they'd be easy to get. Right, local, you know, that kind of thing. So what I had done is I had called corporate, basically just to ask about if I ordered this, and this was very end, well, not very end, about a week into, a week before the end of April. And when I was talking to the woman about ordering that amount, you know, for prayer shawl, you know, because it is a tax-free thing, was would it be getting here so that we could hand it out June the 2nd, which is our prayer shawl day. What I was told is there are some issues with yarns right now. She is going to call it a yarn shortage, sort of. Basically, because, you know, the ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal, or Panama Canal, was not able to let a lot of ships through because it got stuck sideways. So that put things back about a week and a half, I believe, and ships are still lined up going through there. And of course, that, you know, is about 2 weeks behind. They get to their ports, which puts the longshoremen behind in getting those freighters emptied, you know, the cargo bays emptied, those kind of things. So that provides about a 2 to 3 week, you know, we're talking about a month and a half now, to getting it to the people who sell the yarns. On top of that, India right now is having a huge issue with COVID-19, so a lot of those yarn factories are shut down, and that is where Mainstays gets most of their yarns. Of course, China is having another variation right now that is shutting down some of their plants, cities. So, not going to be able to make sure it gets here in time for that. And the reason we wanted to get it there at that time will give the ladies a month to 2 months to getting these Afghans lap robes made so that they be ready to be handed out. And of course, on top of that, our administration has decided to kind of put a hold on a lot of the big oil production that we have in the U.S. and gas production, you know. And acrylic yarns are a byproduct of big oil. So you're going to have that on top of that. It's like this dominoes falling on top of each other. So it might be a little harder to get yarns in the stores for a couple of months. I'm hoping that something comes through and that, you know, gets there faster. But it's going to be what it's going to be, right? Alright, now, I'm going to insert a picture. I told you my husband wanted a tote. I'm going to insert a picture here of the tote, finished. Now, those of you that watch my other channel, So Scraptastic, you know, yesterday I was supposed to put out the other video showing you how I had sewed the tote. That didn't happen just because of things that were going on and some other issues and busy, you know, chemo. I got home, took a 2.5 hour nap in my chair. Just didn't happen. So I had decided I wanted to make me a bag out of the Maladorian fabric as well. But I didn't have quite enough for mine. So I went to Joann's while my husband's chemo treatment was being given. And they didn't have enough. All they had was a remnant. And the gal wouldn't go in the back and see if they had any more in the back to bring out. Which is kind of normal for the Williamsport store. They're not too friendly, so at least the times I've been in there, you know, you can't ask them to go out of their way for anything because they're just not willing. When I go to the State College store, if there's not enough of the fabric that's there and I ask, generally they will look in the computer and see if they have any, and if they do, they'll go get it and bring it out so they can cut it. They understand. You want to keep your customers coming in and happy, and you know, it's a sale. Means you get to keep your job. So I couldn't find that. So I went in and they have their character fabric on sale right now for $8.99 a yard, which is a great deal because it's anywhere from usually $12.99 to $16.99 a yard. And I got, you see that guy right there, the Tasmanian Devil? He's my favorite Looney Tune character. So I got enough yardage to make me a tote bag and a notions pouch. And of course it has all the characters, you know. Porky Pig, Petunia Pig, Roadrunner, Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, let's see, Pepe Le Pew, Sylvester, Tweety, Martin the Martian. I think that's all I see on here. Oh, the Coyote. They have the Coyote. Wile E. Coyote. So I plan on making me a bag with that. And, yeah. Now the Watt in Tarnation is going to be a little short today because the website that I normally use is actually down for maintenance. So I only have 2 stories because I was only able to get 2 stories down, and I'm going to read those to you. Do you remember in 2019 when the wildfires in California almost took out the Ronald Reagan Library, but it was saved? Goats are back. Goats returned to Reagan Library to eat and create a fire break. More than 350 goats are using their mouths to help protect the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum from wildfire danger. The herd returned this week to eat brush around the institution's campus in the Southern California community of Simi Valley. The goats create a fire break between the natural vegetation and the facility, library spokeswoman Melissa Giller told the Ventura County Star. Goats were credited with helping keep the library safe from a wildfire in 2019. During the huge fires a year and a half ago, many of the firefighters who were battling the fire that came within feet of the library said it was the perimeter created by the goats that allowed them to fight the fire and stop it from getting onto our campus, Giller said. This year there was not as much for the goats to eat because there's been little rain and little vegetation regrowth, said Captain Robert Wellsby, a spokesman for the Ventura County Fire Department. But then again, it's not the rainy season yet. You know, there's the mudslides that happen every year. There's the wildfires that happen every year in California. And California doesn't really do a lot of management with the underbrush. And a lot of the things it cause, not only because it's dry, you know, because of no rain, but the underbrush causes a lot of problem and allows those fires to just go way out of control. So if a lot of folks would help, you know, take care of the underbrush, you might be able to save your homes from those fires. But yeah, wildfires in California are a normal thing every year. When I was growing up in New Mexico, we got the 2 Los Angeles channels in our cable package, and we saw those fires every year from the time I was 5 years old till now, and I'm like 62, so it's a yearly thing, along with the mudslides. Let's hope it's not a bad year this year for them. Our next story comes from New Jersey. Band together. Workers dig through landfill for wedding ring. 4 Atlantic County Utilities Authority employees have helped a New Jersey woman find her wedding ring after it was accidentally thrown away. Ruth Watson's 10-year-old son thought he was being helpful when he threw a plastic bag out with the trash last Friday in New Jersey. New Jersey Advanced Media reported. However, inside that bag was Watson's wedding ring, wallet, and some other items. And I'm real bad about doing that. When I go and I just go in with my wallet, I'll toss my wallet into the bag I purchased items. And I've thrown away things before. I have. Accidentally. And do you think that little boy's ever gonna throw trash away again without asking first? I can't tell you how I felt, Watson said. I had so much to do that day, and I couldn't do a thing. I just kept thinking, I've got to get that ring back. By the time Watson realized the ring was gone, the trash had already been picked up. She called the Atlantic County Utilities Authority and explained what the bag looked like and all that was inside. She sent me a picture of what the wallet looked like and said the ring was inside the wallet, Giovanni Quiles, a landfill supervisor, said. and I hope I pronounced that name right. Quiles, along with 3 workers, Ramon Nazario, Alfredo Perez, and Paul Diallo, spent an hour and a half searching the landfill until they found the bag. Which, they didn't have to, but they did. So that was a good thing. Alright, that is it. I will see you again soon. Everybody remember to choose kindness. And, have a great week. Bye.